Alrighty, folks, we are 5 days away from an ORaaT event in Vegas, February 15th and 16th. We've got the one and only Brian Adamson flying out for it, which is such an amazing treat. Brian, thank you for coming out year one, and thank you for coming out year two. It's amazing to see your contributions to the channel, but it's so important that you come out. And I'm not paying you. You're doing this all on your dime. So let's just knock that out right now. You're not being paid for this.
Hey, you starting the conversation there, Mike, got me kind of tongue tied. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let me go back and review my contract. No, it's some of the best pro bono work one could do, and no, it's the ORaaT family is electric. Just really good people. I enjoyed my time last year, meeting so many of you guys, and look forward to doing the same this year, man.
Yeah, it's really funny. So I've been to a lot of events. I've been to well over 100 events if you include my sales career. I would do 5 or 6 events a year for 20 plus years. I ran events for probably the last 10 years or so. And what you can't do as an operator is control the audience.
Mm.
Right? You could do an agenda, you could get a banger headliner, you could create the best template out there, but the audience is out of your control.
For sure.
And man, if year two is like year one, it really is electricity. I don't know how else to explain it. It flies through the building.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the first word that came to mind was electric, right? And that's what it was. And to maintain that level of interest and energy throughout the entire event was very like glaring to me. And the fact that it is driven by the audience, which is amazing. They get to ask those burning questions, being in a room with others as they're asking questions, then make you think of things that you hadn't thought of before, right? Which is also great. And I'm, bring all your questions. Obviously, my specialty has been out of state investing over the last 15 years. And so I know a lot of you, especially in today's market, probably have questions about that. So don't be shy. Come and bring them, and me and Millennial Mike will knock them out the park for you.
Yeah, it's. What did you think of that? Because it's very different than most events, right? You've been on panels, you've done plenty of presentations, you've headlined stuff, but most of the time they ask you to build a PowerPoint, and then they ask you to kind of just go through that, which I've seen hundreds of. What did you think of the event where your time, right? Your time in the sun was half and half, 50% your message and then 50% live fire Q&A.
I enjoyed it, man. I really did. And the reason is this. I think one of my superpowers is more in the moment and like just really connecting with the people. And so for me, I believe it plays in my strengths to a lot of degree. Like I like being able to come away from the presentation and just kind of freestyle organically in a moment. So I think it's great. That's why I love doing these 5-day challenges that I've been doing the last couple of years. We do a live Q&A for an hour each day with strangers. Nice. So we have no idea what questions they're going to ask us. And, I think it's great. I think it's not just because you think you know everything, but it forces you to go know more. Right. And so I think as an educator, as an influencer, I think it's important that we're getting new perspective. I think you lack the new perspective when you give a presentation because you're gauging that off of your own perspective and maybe a little bit of what you think you know. But then to have people form brand new thoughts in real time and get to ask you those questions, I think is rich.
Wow. What did you think of the first day, right? Because again, the first day, if somebody looks at the schedule and they see it's 12 hours, most people are like, what the heck is this guy's crazy thing? But again, you got to remember there's 4 hours of networking and meals. I am feeding everybody. But what did you think when you first saw day one was 12 hours? And then what did you think after day one was done?
That's what I mean, Mike. It was this weird combination or this weird dichotomy of people being tired and excited at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell people had a good Friday night. They came in there Saturday, but it was this tired, excited energy, and it just carried on all throughout the weekend. And even during lunch, like it was full on networking. People hated for lunch to end because it was just that much collaboration. And then, you know, after lunch, it just the thing just started all over again. You know what I mean? It's like the party where it's like, you know, the buzz starts to wear off. And then before you know it, the second party starts. Like, that's what it was, just all throughout the sessions. And I think you did a great job at curating, like, the order of the speakers, right? There was some strategy involved in that as well. And it was just amazing, bro. To see it continue like that all weekend, and at the end of it, people still not wanting to leave. Like, you literally had to kick out like 200 people at the end. It was crazy.
Yeah, we had to get them out. They had to reset the building for an event the next day. So that was a lot of fun. It's just, and then of course, as a guest, one of the things I do for you is I set up that Mac Daddy podcast room in the back so you could find out who you want to interview and you go get some content for yourself. What'd you think of that?
That was crazy. That was crazy. And believe it or not, that was actually my first time ever doing an interview.
Oh, wow.
So I've been interviewed on plenty of pods, but that was my first time where I was conducting an interview, which was really cool. And what better place to do it than at the celebration, right? But I mean, everything was just, it was just all first class, bro. It really was. The entire experience was first class. The people were first class. And just even the AV guys that you hired, like the rich conversation that I had with them off camera was unbelievable, man.
Yeah, Brandon and Heartfelt Productions.
Yeah, Brandon and his dad just good people, bro. Everybody just kind of meshed together from every aspect of what was happening.
Yeah. And then what'd you think of your little surprise gift?
That right there. Very little gets me excited, bro. That did it. One, I'm a horrible gift receiver. I'm a great gift giver, right?
Yeah, I get
that. But it was one of those ones where if I could turn pink, I would have been.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, the belt was a huge hit.
Yeah, and for those that may have saw him and didn't actually, I mean, that thing has some weight to it.
Oh, it's metal. It ain't plastic.
It ain't what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's metal for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got something in store for you for round 2. So we'll see if we'll see how I did in round 2.
Man, you something else, man. No, I so look forward to it. So what do we have, Mike, in terms of variety for folks to look forward to this go around, whether it be real estate or otherwise?
Yeah, it's a beauty of what I did last time. So I really have the same framework because it hit last time. So I've just got new voices.
Okay.
For example, last year, Casey, Brick by Brick Wealth. She came on and told her story of starting an Etsy store to save for the down payment as a stay-at-home mom to get started. So this year, we have a guy, Thomas, who never made more than $10 an hour working in a movie theater, who started an eBay store or an eBay flipping business or whatever that's called. And he's not financially free. Right. So again, we're kind of hitting that story. If it's not about the money, it's about the desire, the work, all of that. Last year, we had Sean Cannell from Think Media come out and talk about the opportunity ahead of us. This year, we have somebody who was a part of the Think Media team years ago, now Omar El Takari, whose podcast is now over 100,000 people, 100,000 thumbs in less than a year. Right. So he's going to come on and he and I talk all the time. We're going to talk about the 2.0 life. Right. Because again, a lot of my audience is older and they're looking at the next thing. So we're going to talk about building a brand, getting ready for your 2.0 life, which is going to be awesome.
Omar, that's my guy.
Yeah, he's going to be there. He's actually the second. We had some scheduling challenges with him because he's so busy, but he's going to be our second speaker Saturday morning.
Nice. Okay.
So get ready to rock from that. We're kicking off something last year that was a hit that I now added to day 1 and day 2 was, remember Jason and Jen Pritchard just crushing the couple story?
They spoke right before I did, actually.
Yeah. They were amazing. So I actually have 2 couples leading off the session on day 1 and day 2. We got the lumberjack landlord and his wife, Ashley, and then we've got PTO for Life coming up on Sunday to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got some surprise speakers I've lined up. There's still an outside chance I get one a crazy friend there. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that done, but I've got plan Bs and plan Cs for everything. So another one that I'm really hoping people get is her name's Lisa Sutton. She went to school to become a lawyer, and by all accounts was a successful lawyer, but felt a calling after spending all that time and money getting educated, and became a very successful entrepreneur. So she's going to talk about, doing that pivot, and, because I think a lot of people feel trapped, right? They went to school for a long time and this, that, the other, but sometimes you got to be open to other things. So she'll talk about how she transitioned from being a lawyer to a part-time entrepreneur to a full-time entrepreneur. So it's just, I've thought about the audience. I've thought about, just the special stories. I'm trying to bring new faces. I didn't want it to be a complete repeat. I'm giving awards this year. It's something I should have did last year. Shame on me. So there are some people in my community that go above and beyond. So I'm giving 6 awards. The first one is an award I should have given last year, but didn't. So that person's going to get a shout out for last year. And then we're going to give 5 awards to new people this year. And that's something I'll do going forward.
Nice.
And then finally, again, there's so much. I'm going to do 2 different panels, and long panels, 90 minutes or so, where we get 4 or 5 millionaires like yourself on stage, and we just rapid fire questions. Because again, a lot of the audience looks at you as a star, right? You're an influencer, and they've probably been waiting to ask you guys questions. So we'll get you all up there to take some questions. So it's going to be fun.
Nice. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah,
at least again, Vegas in 2 days, and so this was brutal for me making that East Coast trip last time. I didn't have a lot of time to adjust, so thank God I'm getting out there early this week. So I should be good and recalibrated by the time the weekend rolls around.
Yeah, it's that time zone that'll especially when you got a guy like me that starts at 8 a.m. Right?
Exactly.
That's just rude. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Yeah, it's for a good cause, man. It's for a good cause.
There you go. Well, Brian, where can people find you, follow you? Again, you'll be at the ORaaT event, but where can you follow you?
Yeah, Brian Adamson Official everywhere. Shout out to all the ORaaT family that's been hanging out with me on my YouTube lives I've been doing every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, which, by the way, this week will be a pre-recorded because I'll be in Vegas. But, see you the following week.
There you go. Thank you, brother.
All right, bro.